Okay, so starting from infinity, the object position which we have discussed, the first position was object at infinity. Okay, then 3 points about the image formation we have studied. Okay, the 3 points about the image formation. First is the nature of the image. Okay, next is position of the image and about its size. Okay, let's summarize the result. What we have studied about the image formation by a convex lens. Okay, the first object position is object is at infinity. What is the nature of the image? It is real and inverted. So the image is real and inverted. Where is it formed? It is formed at focus on the other side. It's formed at focus on the other side. That is at f2. So the position is on the right side. We are taking f2 to f2. So the image is formed at f2 and the size is very small. So highly diminished image. Okay, very small, or you can write down point size image. So it is highly diminished image. Okay, then bringing the object closer towards the lens. So the next position is beyond 2f1. Placing the object beyond 2f1, we see that the image formed is real and inverted. At most of the positions, the image formed by a convex lens is real and inverted. So it is real and inverted. And where is it formed? Between f2 and 2f2. Between f2 and 2f2, the image is formed. Okay, and the size is smaller than the object. So we say that it is diminished image. Okay, bringing it more closer. So what is the next position? At 2f1. Placing the object at 2f1, we again see that the nature of the image is real and inverted. And where is it formed? At 2f2. That is at 2f on the other side, on the right side. Okay, and the image is of same size as that of object. Next position, bringing it more closer, so it is between 2f1 and f1. Image is real and inverted, and where is it formed? It is formed beyond 2f2. It is formed beyond 2f2 and the size is bigger than the object. So such an image we can call it as it is enlarged image. The next position is placing the object at f1. Okay, the image will be formed very far away and these rays will actually meet at infinity. So the image is real and inverted and it is formed at infinity. Okay, when we place the object at f1, the image is formed. These rays, refracted rays, we have seen that they are parallel and they will actually meet where very far away, that is at infinity. And the image is much bigger than the object. So it is highly enlarged. It is highly enlarged image. Then the next position which we have discussed is between focus and the optical center f1 and O. And we have seen that this time the image is virtual and erect. So this is the only object position when the convex lens forms virtual and erect image. Otherwise, convex lens at every object position you can see that it is forming real and inverted image. So only when the object is placed between focus and optical center, the image formed is virtual and erect. And where is it formed? On the same side where the object is placed. That is on the left side only, on the same side where the object is placed. Okay, and again we see that it is bigger than the object. So we can that the image is enlarged image. So at these 6 different positions, here place the object in front of a convex lens, and these are the points about the image formation. Only at this particular object position, that is when the object is placed between focus and optical center on the left side, then the image formed is virtual and erect, and it is formed on the same side. Now you can see the real and inverted images are always formed on the other side of the lens. Okay, we are placing the object on the left side and the images are formed on the right side. So real and inverted images formed by a convex lens, they are on the other side, whereas virtual and erect image is always formed on the same side. Okay, and these are the sizes. As you can see here, when the object is placed at infinity, image is formed at focus. When the object is placed at focus, image is formed at infinity. Okay, the same way when the object is placed beyond 2f1, image is between focus and 2f on the other side. When the object is between 2f1 and f1, then the image is formed beyond 2f2. Okay, so these are the points with the ray diagrams. We have to practice it. Okay, once you practice, you will remember this table. Next, we'll study the image formed by a concave lens. Okay, now next we'll proceed to concave lens. Okay, now here concave lens always forms the same type of image. Concave lens always forms the same type of image. Like in spherical mirrors, we have seen that concave mirror forms different types of images at different object positions. But the convex mirror, it forms the same type of image. Wherever you place the object, the same type of image is formed. The same way here, concave lens. Concave lens will form the same type of image. So here we will discuss only 2 object positions. The first position of the object is very, very far away, that is at infinity. So write down image formed by a concave lens. Image formed by concave lens. The first object position, object at infinity. Object is very, very far away, that is at infinity. Okay, now this time we'll draw concave lens. Why? Because we are studying the image formation by a concave lens. How is the concave lens? Thinner in the middle and thicker at the edges. The central point of the lens, optical center. Okay, draw a line which is passing through the optical center and perpendicular to both the faces. This line we call it as principal axis. Next, mark F1 to F1, F1 F2 and 2F1 to F2. So here we mark F1, F2 equal distance from the optical center. Then double the focal length. 2f1 to the left side, 2f2 on the right side. Okay, now the object is very, very far away. That is at infinity. So how are the incident rays coming? The incident rays are parallel to each other. Let us consider that these incident rays are also parallel to the principal axis. So let us consider 2 incident rays which are coming from the object which is very far away, that is at infinity. So the rays are coming parallel to each other. So these are the 2 incident rays. Now according to the rules which we have studied, any ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis appears to pass through the focus on the same side in case of a concave lens. So this ray of light, it diverges and it appears to pass to the focus on the same side. Remember that rule. Okay, any ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis appears to pass to the focus on the same side. Same side means where we have placed the object. Object is also on the left side, and the focus, which focus will it appear to pass? The focus on the same side where the object is there. The second incident ray is also parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so this ray also diverges, as we know that concave lens diverges the rays. That is why concave lens is also called as a diverging lens. So it diverges the rays, and this ray of light also appears to pass through F1. So the two incident rays which we have considered are parallel to the principal axis. They diverge and appear to pass through the focus on the same side. So wherever the rays appear to meet, the image is formed, and whenever they appear to meet, the image formed is virtual and erect. So the 3 points about the image. The first is the nature of the image. Okay, as the rays appear to meet, so the image is virtual, and virtual images are erect. So the image is virtual and erect. Second point about the position of the image. Where is it formed? You can see that it is formed at F1. That is at focus on the same side where the object is placed. So it is formed at F1. The third point, size of the image. Okay, as the rays are appearing to meet at a point, so the image is highly diminished. The image is much smaller than the object, highly diminished image. Or you can write down it is a point size image. So the image is point size image. Okay, so when the object is at infinity, the nature of the image is virtual and erect. Position is formed at F1, and the size is highly diminished, or you may write down point size image. Hurry up, draw this ray diagram. Write down image formed, write the heading, image formed by a concave lens. Write the first position, object at infinity. Object at infinity. Now draw the ray diagram. Draw the ray diagram, draw a concave lens. Mark optical center as the central point of the lens. Then mark F1, F2 at equal distance from optical center on either side. Double the focal length, mark 2F1 and 2F2. Okay, and draw the incident rays parallel to the principal axis. Okay, after refraction, these rays will diverge. And when you extend them backwards, they appear to pass through F1. They will appear to pass through F1. So then write the 3 points about the image formation. The first one is nature of the image. Write down virtual and erect. Write the second point, position. Position of the image. Image is formed at F1. So write down at F1. Then write the size of the image. Size of the image is highly diminished. Or you may write it is a point sized image. Okay, so write these 3 points. Okay, now what will be the next object position? It is always forming the same type of image. So anywhere you place between infinity and optical center, the image formed will be of the same type. So the next position, only one more position we have to study. Object placed between infinity and optical center. So the second position is, write down in object between infinity and optical center. Write the second object position, object between infinity and optical center O. Okay, write the second position, object between infinity and optical center. Okay, again we'll draw the ray diagram, placing the needle shaped object. Draw concave lens. Okay, now this is the concave lens. Mark optical center, the central point. Draw the principal axis. Then mark F1, F2 on either side of the optical center at equal distance. Then mark 2F1, double the focal length, and 2F2 on the other side. Okay, now the needle shaped object, you can place it anywhere between infinity and optical center. Let us place the object over here. Anywhere you can place it. Okay, so this is the needle, you can place it here also. Wherever you wish, you can place the object. The image will be formed, the image form will be always of the same type. So let us place the object here. The first incident ray from the tip of the object, which is parallel to the principal axis, it appears to pass through F1. So this ray of light diverges, and when we extend it backwards, it appears to pass through F1. So the first incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, diverges, and it will appear to pass through F1. Okay, according to the rule what we have studied, any ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis appears to pass through F1. Second ray, you can pass it to the optical center. As we know that any ray of light which is passing through the optical center goes straight without bending. Okay, so the two refracted rays are appearing to meet at this point. They are not actually meeting. These are the two actual refracted rays. Backwards when extended, they appear to meet. So the image is formed here. So this is the image. Wherever the refracted rays are appearing to meet, this is the image. Okay, now let's study the nature of the image. As the refracted rays are appearing to meet, so the nature of the image is virtual, and virtual images are always erect. Okay, as you can see in the figure also, the object is placed above the principal axis, the image is also formed above the principal axis. So the image is virtual and erect. Second point, position. Where is it formed? On the same side where the object is placed, between O and F1. Okay? We know that virtual and erect images will always be formed to the left of the lens. Where we place the object, virtual and erect images will always be formed there only. Okay, whereas real and inverted images, which is formed by a convex lens and most of the object position, that is formed on the other side. That is to the right of the lens. Virtual and erect images to the left only. So what is the position? On the same side between F1 and O. Where is it? Between F1 and O. So the image is formed on the same side between F1 and O. Size, as you can see, it is smaller than the object. This is the object, this is the image. So it's smaller than the object, and the smaller images we can write down as diminished image. So the size is diminished image. Okay, so place the object anywhere between infinity and optical center. The image formed will always be of the same type. That is, the image will be always virtual and erect, and it will be on the same side between F1 and O. And the third point is it will be always smaller than the object, that is, it will be diminished image. So a concave lens always forms virtual and erect image. Okay, and virtual erect images on the same side it is formed, and the size will be always diminished, that is smaller than the object. So the image formed is diminished. So these are the 3 points about the image when the object is placed anywhere between infinity and optical center. Hurry up, draw the ray diagram and write the 3 points about the image. Draw the ray diagram. Okay, mark Mark optical center on the concave lens. F1, F2, 2F1, 2F2. Place the object anywhere. You can place it at 2F1 also. You can place it between F1 and 2F1 anywhere. Beyond 2F1, the image formed will be always of the same type. Place it anywhere. One incident ray draw parallel to the principal axis, which will diverge and appears to pass through F1. Second incident ray passing through optical center will go straight. So wherever the two refracted rays are appearing to meet, there the image will be formed, and it will be formed between O and F1. So write the 3 points about the image. The 3 points: nature of the image, position is between F1 and O, on the same side where the object is placed. Then write the size of the image. Size is smaller than the object, so you can say that it is diminished image. So the image formed is diminished image. Okay, where are the lenses used? Lenses are used in spectacles. Okay, convex lens, concave lens, depending what type of defect in the eye is there, whether it is nearsightedness or long-sightedness. Depending upon that, in the spectacles, the lenses are used concave and convex. Also, convex lens is used in telescopes, in microscopes. These lenses are used. Microscope, telescope, convex lenses used. So these are some of the uses of lenses. Okay, next we come to sign convention, new Cartesian sign conventions. As we have studied for spherical mirrors, the same way here we'll study for spherical lenses, and then we'll write the formula for the lens. That is the lens formula. We'll write down. The derivation is not in the course. Derivation in class 12. Okay, so here only we have to study the lens formula. So before studying that, sign convention, new Cartesian sign convention. So write the heading. Write the heading, new Cartesian sign conventions for lenses. Okay, for mirrors we have studied. Now for lenses. Okay, the first one is, again in every position we have seen that we have placed the object to the left of the lens. Okay, so what is the direction of the incident light? Direction of the incident light will be towards right. Okay, now the first is, what is the origin here? Optical center. That is, all distances are measured from optical center. So write the first one. All distances are measured from, write down, all distances are measured from optical center. So optical center is the origin over here. All distances are measured from optical center. Okay, whereas in case of spherical mirrors, all distances are measured from pole of the mirror. Their pole is the origin. Here, optical center is the origin. And what is optical center? It is the central point of the lens. So the first point is, all distances are measured from optical center. Okay, then the second is, the distances which are measured along the direction of incident light, that is towards right, they are taken as positive. Opposite to the direction of the incident light are taken as negative. See here, first try to understand whether it is a convex lens or it is a concave lens. We are always placing the object, this is the object, we are placing to the left of the lens. So what is the direction of the incident light? Direction of the incident light is towards right, towards positive x-axis. So from the optical center, all the distances which are measured along the direction of incident light, that is towards right, towards positive x-axis. So all distances measured along the direction of the incident light will be taken as positive, and the distances which are measured opposite to the direction of the incident light will be taken as negative. So this is the object, this is the direction of the incident light. So what is this? This is the direction of incident light. So write the second point. All distances measured along direction of incident light, measured along direction of incident light are taken positive, and opposite to the direction of incident light, are taken negative. Okay, so the next will continue tomorrow because I have to take the attendance also.